This is a time of sadness. We are here mourning the loss, probably the biggest loss humanity's seen in easily the past 5 to 10 years. We have officially confirmed Lola Bunny is no longer sexy.
Speak for yourself.
Podcasting. Fetishizing cartoon rabbits. Also,
Bruh.
Utopia.
Bruh.
Utopia is high quality.
Already, actually, maybe believe that because me and Brandon are planning on making that an actual video.
Good.
Where it's just him and his fiance are
Bruh.
Matt Damon and I play
Bruh.
and then I just CGI
Bruh.
and the fox, I forget his name. Michael?
I don't know for some reason why
Arrested Development.
Yeah, it's like because it's
Yeah, another week has transpired. There was no Attack on Titan, so we're brutally reminded again at the long wait ahead of us. But no worries, there's content knocking on our door.
There was we got quite a few things we can talk about this week.
We got Space Jam. Sans Lola Bunny.
I just don't understand.
The only problem is that the bar was set and it wasn't met again. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't have to be sexy, but they already made her sexy, so now that it's been taken away.
I do feel like, though, the news, because it's CG now, too. Like,
yeah, but it's cartoon at the beginning.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
And that she should still be sexy.
Definitely.
But
I 10 to 10 agree.
But, like, I feel like them trying to make her sexy and the weird CG would feel off. Like, I don't know how you...
I think it translates.
I mean...
If we 3D creatures can find 2D creatures sexy...
You think it can go the opposite?
I think it can go the opposite way.
I do like LeBron.
Cartoon LeBron. I think it makes more sense.
A very fun little... And I'm so curious as to what characters we're going to see.
Well,
do you think Henry Cavill's going to pop up?
We did see the Dothraki dragon from the Red Wedding that was flying in there. And
the guys from Clockwork Orange are in the background of the shot.
Interesting. Yeah, well, as I was watching the trailer, I'm like, I'm going to need to scroll through a thread where people are screenshotting all these Easter eggs.
I bet I can pull one up right now.
Yeah, we don't have to go through that. Especially since it's so fresh.
Yeah.
But I doubt Cavill would show up. Like, I bet if they get a Superman, it would be like the 1930s drawing, like 2D animation of Superman. That's just where my head immediately goes because it's safe.
Yeah.
And we get the Iron Giant. All sorts of fun.
Yeah,
I'm
excited to see.
I will be watching it on HBO Max.
For sure. And I might go to the theaters and see it. When does it come out?
Couldn't tell you. Probably 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be vexed. But then, there's a possibility I go. Definitely not a guarantee like Black Widow.
Yeah, it's not like... I'm not saying I won't go in theaters, I'm just not planning.
Yeah.
If someone asked me to go to the theater, I'd be like, yeah, I guess, if I'm free that day, but I'm not in a rush to see Space Jam. Because it is, at the end of the day, still a kid's movie.
Yeah. So
it'll be enjoyable, but I don't know if it's... Take 2 hours out of my day to go.
What I'm worried about is that the first one's so great that it's going to...
There's a high bar.
It's
similar to the Lola Bunny bar.
There's high expectations.
Space Jam
classic.
Space Jam 1 set a lot of expectations.
Curvaceous bunny expectations, for sure.
Sheesh.
Did you watch the new Suicide Squad trailer? Second one dropped?
No, because I felt like I got all that I needed from the first one.
Yeah,
and I don't want to...
It's not that different.
Yeah.
There's a few, like, line changes. Like, when they're talking to Thinker, one of the lines is different. Like, so...
See, and I just don't want to hear those extra jokes.
Yeah, exactly. More looks at, like, Harley Quinn's outfit. Like, they shot her from behind, and her jacket says, "Live fast, die clown."
Nice.
Which is just, like, that's a good glow-up from Property of Joker on the back of her last jacket.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just small stuff. I watched it on my phone once, and I won't watch it again. But I'm excited.
Yeah. That's how I watched the Space Jam.
Yeah, I was in bed. I rolled over, grabbed my phone, like, oh, Space Jam trailer. Watched it holding it vertically. Didn't even turn off long-coordinated edition.
Oh no.
So I definitely missed all of the little cameos I was supposed to see because I was like watching it like this big.
I'm feeling a little low energy. I'll be right back. Got my Michelle Ultra.
Nice. Zack Snyder has been talking a lot this week.
God.
There's one thing we don't even talk about it all. He released the full nightmare sequence.
Oh, I did watch
with
that.
the society line.
Which, like,
why was it cut? Is what I
it was because it's just that line.
It's that line, and then the one at the right after he goes, "Who do you think screamed louder, the boy or the girl?" And it's like,
what's that? Ernie the Joker. Also, Brandon texted me the other day, asked me if he should dye his hair any specific color for a film script video, and I was like, dye it green so we can make Joker content. And
we'll see.
I've not gotten the confirmation or denial,
but the most annoying thing that he said is that he recanted his Green Lantern statement,
and that it was like, I would have done it.
No, that Green Lantern was he said instead of Martian Manhunter, it was Green Lantern. Mm-hmm. He said they filmed it, and it was both of them.
Oh, so he just switched up his wording a little bit.
Yeah, so he said it was Green Lantern with Martian Manhunter, John Stewart.
Just
and he said that he cast somebody.
Oh, he announced the name.
He gave the name.
Oh, well, obviously, yeah. That makes me think it's a little bit more real, but I still don't think that, like... I don't know. I don't know what I dislike more. Is that the, like, weird mythology around Snyder and his universe, or just people in suits in boardrooms at Warner Brothers and AT&T? Because they both frustrate me immensely. But, like, Zack Snyder makes me want to not be a DC fan.
I'm having a really hard time this week.
We're going through a lot, people.
It's hard being a DC fan with all of these.
Well, for as cringy as like MCU Disney Plus TikTok is, I would way rather live in that than Snyderverse TikTok.
Yeah, apparently his name is Wayne T. Carr. He was on the TV show SWAT.
Oh, with LL Cool J. Based on the hit film starring LL Cool J.
And then there's this piece of concept art.
Okay, I saw that, I legitimately thought that was a fan edit of Lil Nas X.
Nice.
Does that not look like
it? It does. And then we got Granny Goodness, Martian Manhunter, which is so ugly. I hate the Martian Manhunter design.
Yeah, I mean, he looks better in this.
And then you ready? You ready?
Oh, boy. So it's just Suicide Squad Joker
for sure.
In the nightmare?
Yeah, and they filmed it, but then Warner Bros. Said, no, you can't use Green Lantern, so just make it Martian Manhunter.
Honestly, I'm so okay with that, because that means they're doing something else.
Oh, there's a Green Lantern TV show coming up.
Yeah, the HBO one.
Yeah.
Do we have any actors' names attached to that?
No.
Remember when Tom Cruise was a rumor for Hal?
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 years ago, probably. No?
Maybe, yeah. How do you feel about that?
He's too old.
Yeah, but what if he's like he got it in the 80s, and we get some DH flashbacks, and he's mentoring either John Stewart or
I don't hate that. He cannot mentor John Stewart. They're at the same level.
Fair.
But then that would also give us grounds for Idris
what I was just going to say.
Be John Stewart, which would be dope. And then they're like mentoring like Guy Gardner and Kyle Rayner or something like that.
Just Kyle Rayner.
Nah, you need Guy Gardner because then you.
I guess if you're doing a TV show, bring him along.
And you can do with Guy Gardner, you can do a Sinestro-esque arc because he goes to the Red Lantern.
Yeah, and interesting. I like the idea also because if we make John Stewart or Hal or both of them those mentor roles, we can get 1 or 2 good movies or seasons out of them, and then have a heroic death / sacrifice / yada yada, which has happened for both of them in common. I know Hal's died like 5 times.
Hal's died so many times.
I can name just 3 off of like one comic book run.
A good point too with Tom Cruise is that like Ben Affleck's our Batman, so who knows?
Well, aren't we straying away from that universe?
No, I'm saying if we're talking
with
what
5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago, the Snyderverse had so much potential.
Too much potential.
Disgusting how much potential it had.
But yeah, with that Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter thing, I would have been so pissed if that happened. If two founding members of the Justice League showed up at the end and were like, "Yeah, we know you were fighting a really big threat, but we'll be there next time and help you."
Yeah,
like,
especially because
it pissed me off that Martian Manhunter did that.
They were so outnumbered without Superman, and they didn't show up.
Yeah, we saw everything you did. Good job, guys.
Yeah. Not that either of them are Superman level, but maybe them together kind of make up for some of that.
I definitely not Superman level, but probably stronger than any other member of the Justice League.
Yeah,
except Wonder Woman.
Them together are probably on par with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe even
Mark
maybe even on their own. Yeah, he's strong. And he has like 18 powers. He's like Superman, but he just has like a dumb list of superpowers you can forget about. It's like, oh yeah, that's right.
His only weakness is fire. Like,
that's a tough weakness. Like, kryptonite is so much better than
more common than kryptonite, for sure.
Definitely.
But yeah, it's just exciting to stop talking. I'm done with it. Yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier, we're halfway there.
Yeah. One big thing that I feel like we need to say, one, spoilers for the first 3 episodes. If you're one of our 20 listeners, you've probably been watching it, or mash that 15-second button for a few minutes, you know?
Yeah.
So the stinger, the cliffhanger at the end of this most recent episode, very interesting, makes complete sense. The director has talked about, and we're getting into dangerous speculation territory.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
He had a quote talking about how real things get and how crazy of like a cameo.
Especially episode 5.
Episode 5 is going to make us cry.
I don't think it's Chadwick.
I don't think it is either, but there's 30% of me that does.
There's part of me that hopes.
Yeah, because I would want that.
I would love to see that. Because I no matter what if is going to be his last performance as the character, which kind of is lesser to me if he gets to actually be on screen. So I would love to actually get to see him, like a one final ride for that character.
Even if it was just him, like, giving some sage advice to both of them, Like, he just shows up after a fight and is like...
Oh, him talking to Sam, him being what talked Sam into taking back the shield would be fantastic.
That would be cry. That would be cry-worthy regardless of the casting. But, maybe not cry-worthy, but definitely goosebumps. That's like a very, like...
Yeah, and they filmed it late.
They started filming in August of 2019.
Yeah, late 2019, so there's a possibility. I've heard...
I don't want to, like, put any bets on it. No. One, even just talking about it kind of feels wrong, or, just strange.
A lot of people because I've been pretty logged into the Reddit stuff with people trying to figure out what they're talking about, and one of the scoopers who has had a lot of actual, like, accurate stuff with this so far, like, he said Wakandan would appear in episode 3, so, like, that's a pretty
spot on.
Pretty accurate. It's not T'Challa. It's more of a moment than it is a cameo, but it's more of a moment than the cameo, but the actor is notable as opposed to which I don't know. Saying the actor specifically almost feels like it's a newcomer to the MCU.
Yeah, interesting. All the people that I am like waiting for, I guess it could. Like an X-Men? Because the city,
Madripoor or whatever you say.
That's a big X-Men city, so... But I still think it's too early that we're going to get any X-Men.
I think we'll get Crows?
Yeah, like the city.
There were theories that the entire reason they go to the city is to fight, like, leaks from, like, 2 months ago that the reason they go to that city is to fight Omega Red. And it's already been debunked. But that's, like, just so many people are just reaching in hopes.
Well, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. That would be great if that's the way it is. It's just not realistic, yeah, great. Like, I have no complaints at this point.
I'm having a great time. I think... I hate that I'm enjoying the character.
They are making him extremely likable, but I have a feeling
Oh, he's gonna turn on him for sure.
Him killing that scientist is just a prelude to the type of, because that was even like kind of like an okay move, like a forgivable move, because it's like, that guy, like he's not a good guy. So, but yeah, one, he's definitely gonna turn on him, but I feel like it's gonna be like an actual bad backstabbing, like moment, action, or line that's really gonna be like, we hate him,
and it will be to Bucky, 100%.
Yeah. And also, we gotta remember this guy did kill King T'Chaka, and like
this guy is a
bad person. Is he though? Because he's just obsessed with Hydra.
Oh, he did, which is close enough.
That's bad enough.
Being obsessed with the Hitler.
That's true. True.
I do. People are giving Sharon a lot of unnecessary hate. I think she kind of ruled. I liked it.
She actually had a personality,
and everything she did is so justifiable. Her being so pissed, she watched every other Avenger and the Winter Soldier get pardoned. And nobody was like, hey, reach out to Sharon.
I mean, the fact that Wong or Doctor Strange didn't go grab her for the end of Endgame.
Yeah.
Not that she's that power level, but like, still a little bummed.
But like, post-Civil War, when Cap was on the run and stuff, he just like she did so much for them.
It is strange that she wasn't just a part of their team. Because for all intents and purposes, like, she's pretty much just like Black Widow.
I think she's cooler than Black Widow. I like her personality more than Black Widow.
I guess the question is, Black Widow could be superpowered.
There's this rumor going. Have you heard about the rumor why she wasn't included in any of that?
Because she's a bad guy?
No. Because people hated the moment between her and Cap in Civil War.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Because that was just strange. Especially now, in hindsight.
But apparently, so I've heard a lot of different rumors about that and why, because she's spoken out about how much hate she got because of that moment, which sucks.
Yeah,
and so undeserved.
One, like Wyatt has deleted his Instagram, which is just so stupid. Like, not stupid that he deleted it, stupid that he had to.
Same with the Kelly Marie Tran with the Rose stuff.
I mean, that's a huge example.
But she's talking about how much hate she got, and so they wrote her out of Infinity War. Because this character was disliked after that moment. And that's just so, like...
It's a bummer.
And it just... There are also rumors that Cap was supposed to end up with her.
Yeah.
As opposed to Peggy. But then there was... Literally after that Civil War backlash, they changed it.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Like, I'm okay with Cap finding a new person, but... Don't make her related.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It's just a little bit too close to the... Yeah. It would be one thing if she was, like, mentored by her.
I also just don't really care about Peggy like everybody else does. So I would have been fine if he just moved on.
I think...
Otherwise...
I'm fine with him moving on, but I don't...
Again, no, not related.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the ending to Endgame. I think it's really sweet and, like, works really well. Yeah. So for that reason, I'm in on Peggy. Chips on the table, but... in a scenario where we're writing Winter Soldier in like 2012 or whatever, just maybe write that connection better, you know? Yeah. And the fact that she was pretty much just his bodyguard for that.
But and then we see her fight scenes in this, and she's so cool.
She's balling. She's definitely up to something.
Do you think she's a villain? I don't think she's a villain.
I think she's entangled. She's in an entanglement.
Oh, I think everybody is entangled with this power broker.
Do we know who the power broker is played by? Walter Goggins?
No, he is also... He mentioned him, though. That was the first time we heard the power broker.
Was
in Ant-Man and the Wasp. He mentioned him. So there is definitely... This man definitely has some hands. I mean, there's a lot of theories. There's theories that it is Sharon, which I think is dumb.
She's too close to...
Yeah, and...
She also has only been doing that for, 6 years?
Yeah, and people are saying that... Yeah, which is a good point, too, because post-snap, Ant-Man and the Wasp was pre-snap, and they were talking about the power broker.
True, exactly. So she would have not had enough time to...
And why would she be...
That quickly established?
A year afterwards.
Yeah.
So I really don't like that theory, but they're...
being on the run for, 6 or 7 years...
And her becoming this, people are like, oh, no, she's killing people. It's like...
She was a SHIELD agent. She was killing people before,
she worked for the government.
Yeah. Also, Captain America used to carry a handgun. He the current ones it still does. They're still working Yeah, the CIA, FBI, soldiers, whatever you want to call them, like they're still agents of destruction for justice.
I could see the power broker being Thaddeus Ross.
I don't. Oh, like son.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah. Oh, like actually.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know his first name.
Yeah, Thaddeus.
Wow. I did see that tweet.
I'm actually okay with that one because he is the kind of guy that would do something like that, especially if we're building to Thunderbolts.
Yeah,
I mean, I just think he's gonna appear, and I think that would be a very like.
I'm okay with it because I like that actor and I like that character, and I want to see Red Hulk more than anything. I want to see Red Hulk with a mustache so bad. And we're years away from that. We're so far from that. But if he is the power broker, we're one step closer.
If he is the power broker, we're gonna like this again. We're getting deep into speculative territory. But
he's going to turn into Red Hulk, and then Professor Hulk is going to show up, and they're going to fight so hard that they go into hell and fight with Mephisto, which is something that happens in the comics. So stupid. The Hulk fights the devil.
But Zemo is a big part of the Thunderbolts.
Yes.
So that connection would make a lot of sense.
I would love to get Thunderbolt seeds planted and get Norman Osborn. I would. The problem is we don't have enough time to introduce Norman Osborn, have him be a villain, have him die, disappear, or be redeemed, one of the three, if not all of them, and then become a part of the. You know what I mean? Like there's just that's a decade of movies all on its own. And Thunderbolts Ross does not have another decade. I'm sorry, but he's going to be looking like Stan Lee in a decade. I loved the Prison Break. They did one. They got it done in like 5 minutes.
People said it was too easy. They walked us through everything that happened, and obviously it didn't happen that quickly.
Yeah, well, it's Danny Ocean with superpowers. Like, what do you expect? Like, they're not like it's not gonna take because wasting a whole hour-long episode on that would have been just so frustrating.
Especially when there's only 6 episodes. But the way they did it with Bucky explaining what was happening,
and he was just already.
And Sam's like, "No, we can't do it." And he's like, "Oh, I already did."
Well, the second he said hypothetically, I was like, "Oh, he already did it."
Yeah.
Like, oh, he already did it. That's so good. And the fact that he went in there just knowing is just phenomenal. I'm very excited for the final costume, even though it's probably going to look like a lot of very similar to what a lot of fan edits have made over the past 6 years. But it'll still be cool to see.
Because those are good fan edits.
Yeah, they're still but it is just very to see the new suit, like even like Captain America's suit in Endgame, like having the scales. The scales.
We'd seen edits of the scales for what?
Literally since the first
10 years.
America, yeah.
But it still felt so good seeing it actually happen.
Yeah.
So for sure, I get it.
Very true. Very true. What if they Sam and Bucky they decide to share the shield? They split it in half. They each get a crescent moon, one of them gets pretty much a weird ovally circle. The other one gets a crescent moon, and they are the America's Best Boys.
No, they split it like yin and yang, and they repaint it, and it's a star.
Honestly, way more deadly as far as throwing that. Yeah. Sharpen the edges on that, flatten it out.
The vibranium point.
Yeah, God. Yeah, Bucky would just use it the way that Cap had the Black Panther claws in Infinity War, just scraping people with it. I
do think we are going to see John Walker get a little bit more sinister.
Oh, he's already in the
last episode, don't you know who I am?
He's got anger issues, power struggle. He needs to be.
He wants to be liked so badly, and the fact that he's not being liked, I think, is either that's going to cause him to snap, or there's a possibility he gets his hand on one of these 20 super soldier serums.
I definitely think that's where they're going.
And then that goes a little psychological.
Yeah, I hope Sam accidentally gets some. Maybe that's the wrong lesson or wrong message, but I like my Captain America with some strength.
There's a theory that one of them is going to be detonated as a bomb.
Oh, and then they're all going to get
and then a bunch of people will get
Zemo and Falcon.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Whoever's in that.
A lot. I like it. Oh, and his friend, the dude.
Battlestar.
No, Sam's friend. CIA guy. FBI. Torres, yes.
He's great.
Yeah.
Really, really fun character.
And a good, like, he hasn't been in the past.
No,
two,
but he was on the phone in the last episode.
Yeah.
Like, I'm down with that kind of character. And he's somebody in the comics.
Yeah, he's like
I think he's
Red Wing or something.
Yeah, I think he's a Falcon character.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think we are going to get I forgot, I completely lost track where I was going. Some was a joke, but then was a serious thought, and then I forgot. Do you think we'll get an Isaiah flashback?
I hope.
That would be dope. That'd be really cool.
Because that moment was probably one of my favorites in the series so far.
Good scene.
Great scene.
And I think that could be potentially one of the options for what the director referenced about episode 5 being an emotional scene.
I do think he could also be the character who pushes Sam into accepting that he needs to take the shield.
It would make sense. They foreshadowed that for sure. But yeah, I would give it 6 Winter Soldiers out of 9 Falcons so far.
Nice.
But we'll wait for a final review once the show is completed.
Yeah, I'm liking the way the direction. I'm very happy that it's one concise story. There haven't been any weird spin-off like B-plots yet too much. I do like everything that we've seen B-plot wise feels like it is a proper B-plot and fits into the story, like with Sam's family, with Bucky going to therapy.
Yeah.
With Sharon now, because she talked to somebody at the end of the episode, which people...
I'm curious if that's like that's going to be wrapped up here, or that's an Easter egg for the next time she's in an MCU property, whatever her next appearance is. I'm down for either.
I definitely think this is one season. That's the way we're setting it up.
Like we're going to get more?
I don't. I think we're... This is setting up for their next appearance in movies.
Yeah.
I think we just needed to get Sam from the point of being unable to accept the shield to knowing that it is his responsibility.
Do you think we get a movie titled Captain America starring Sam?
I hope. Because he's going to be Captain America.
Yeah. Yeah. Or will they call him Captain Falcon? Falcon! Punch!
That's a good one. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. Monkey Lizard?
Monkey Lizard.
Yeah.
So we both watched Monkey Lizard, the movie.
We did. King versus Zilla, Dawn of Justice.
I hadn't seen the second Godzilla movie.
Same.
Didn't feel like I needed to see the second Godzilla movie.
Not necessarily.
There were a few
he fought just like 10 other big lizards and
that was
them all?
In the opening credits. It just showed the little X's going over their pictures. I was like, oh yeah, he beat them. Nice. There were a few characters who I had to Google just to see if they had existed before, like when they were talking about Tarzan's brother.
Who's Tarzan?
Alexander Skarsgård, the Nathan Lind. He was Tarzan in the...
That's right, with
Harley
Quinn, yeah.
And Sam Jackson.
Did you see that movie?
Yeah, it's really bad.
Interesting. Was he jacked for that?
Oh, yeah.
When I saw his name in the opening credits, I immediately thought of the other Skarsgård.
There's three or four of them.
The skinny one?
Yeah.
And I just forgot about him, the Pennywise one.
And I think they're brothers.
Yeah, they're all 3 brothers.
And their dad is...
Liam Skarsgård.
Bill. No, Bill's... What's the dad's the one from Florida.
Anthony Hopkins?
No! The scientist. That's what Fred Natalie Portman.
Oh,
Eric, maybe? No, Eric's just
Eric Lineshare, yeah, or whatever.
What's his real name? Not important right now.
Not important at all.
But like they were talking about his brother dying, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna Google that and read about it." And it didn't happen.
Reference, yeah.
And then Millie Bobby Brown being like, "But he helped us." I was like, "Okay, cool. Thanks for the exposition drop." But yeah, it was. I didn't have to invest in any of the human characters. I had a good time watching Monkey and Lizard fight.
Yeah, it was just some good, solid action scenes. I think they took the script to BVS, DOJ, and just completely revised it for the better. I think I tweeted that Godzilla vs. Kong was the Snyder cut of Batman v Superman. And I mean that as a complete compliment. It was an improved upon vision with a more realistic ending.
Okay, so let's look at it this way. Which one's Batman?
Kong. Because Superman's Godzilla overpowered. That's
okay.
the
and then that makes Mechagodzilla Doomsday?
Yes. Or Cyborg Superman.
But Cyborg Superman is a problem with Batman v Superman.
Yeah, it's a better script.
Okay.
Makes more sense.
That's right.
Because if you took Zod's body, the obvious thing to do with that would make Cyborg Superman.
Instead of
Doomsday, because that's not how Doomsday works. Zack Snyder, you loser!
And then, who's Wonder Woman? Millie Bobby Brown?
Wonder Woman doesn't need to be in it.
Completely,
completely unnecessary character.
Yo, though, out of all the human characters, that little deaf girl,
yeah,
well written, like.
Well, yeah, because she didn't have to talk.
And I mean,
it's the best thing to do with child actors, make them deaf.
That girl's actually deaf.
Mute. But okay, cool.
Yeah, some people that.
I still don't because I stand by that statement about child actors. Like if you're under 14, I don't expect you to be good.
No,
I expect you to be a child. Like that's just, you know what I mean? Like it's not like, bleh, you know.
Yeah, there's a very small group of good child actors.
Arguably zero.
Hey, Millie Bobby Brown, man.
Yeah, but see, she's in that range though, where she's a teen actor.
But she started as a child.
You think?
I think she was
12?
I think she was 12.
See, I count that still as like the middle school age is when it's like, okay, you should maybe already have some semblance of chops. You know?
She was 11 or 12.
Yeah.
That'd be funny if she was 11. But
yeah,
I really enjoyed Kong in this movie. I love Kong Skull Island. But like
I like that, yeah.
Man's had a personality. He woke up at the start and felt like Donkey Kong.
He talked.
He did say a few words. I like his sign language because gorillas do sign language.
They do. That is a thing. I think. Yeah, I don't know.
I had a good time watching the fight scenes, and then
that's really all I have to say.
Yeah,
the fight scenes were good. Every time that Kong interacted with like water or buildings, I just imagined how long it took to run those simulations and how much CGI work had to be.
It was well done.
It was well done.
CG was very well done.
Well, you know why it was well done is because everything was CG every time they're on screen, which is like maybe easier, but
so much
longer.
Yeah. I don't know anything really about the lore of these characters outside of the current movies.
No.
Even that, I didn't watch one of the current movies. I don't know if Hollow Earth is a thing.
Oh, yeah, Journey to the Center of the Earth 3? Low-key, kind of.
And then they just kind of set up a base at the end inside the Hollow Earth where there
because why not? Yeah,
where there were very dangerous creatures.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we gotta, humans, Americans, we gotta territorize everything.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know why they didn't just let them go back to Skull Island after Godzilla was cool with them.
Maybe it's because it's just a bigger Skull Island in the middle of the Earth,
it just felt like a lot of work.
Okay.
And also that gravity thing when they were traveling to
Strange.
Not a fun process to keep doing every time you need to go back.
No. No. That would, probably get used to it. But hear me out.
I'm hearing you out.
Okay, so LexCorp is developing cybernetic technology that we think is going to lead to the creation of Cyborg. Or the technology that would create Cyborg. He's alien technology.
So making mother boxes maybe instead of Zod's body? That we know of.
Sure. And he needs some, maybe it's kryptonite, maybe it's some other alien artifact. So he reaches out to his connections at Wayne Enterprises to get that business merger, yada yada. Batman, Bruce Wayne, hears about this through Lucius Fox, and he's like, I don't fuck with that. So he goes undercover, stows away on that ship as Batman.
Lucius Fox was on Godzilla. Gotham.
Good.
Yeah, he popped up. I don't remember where he popped up, but I remember seeing like, oh, it's Lucius.
Good. And while this is happening, Superman is going berserk because red kryptonite B-plot, that's dumb. And he's interfering, we're questioning what's wrong with Superman, blah, 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 blah. And it's something to do with radioactive red kryptonite, LexCorp, yada, yada. They figure out something on that trip. Maybe Robin is there as well. That's the little girl. Maybe Tim Drake is deaf. I don't know.
Robin is the only one who can calm down Batman.
Yeah, he does the Black Widow thing for Hulk. And then he puts on a big suit. Batman does. He's like, all right, Superman's acting up. Gotta put him in his place. Puts on his mech armor, and they get in a fight. Superman just knocks the shit out of him, and he has a heart attack and dies. And then Alfred and Robin are like, God damn, we gotta save him. So they just open up the Batmobile car battery, pliers to the chest of the mech suit, zap him back to life. He jumps back in the fight between Superman and
Alfred goes flying away. We're like, oh no, Alfred died. And Alfred actually does die because he's old and cannot stand a launch like that man took.
Yeah. Or he gets stabbed by a red kryptonite spear and gets superpowers, becomes a Red Lantern because
he's angry.
Magic.
Yeah.
Batman v Superman, Dawn of a Better Film.
I mean, I do think there were a lot of cut out the center of the earth plot because, again, that feels something very. You could tell me that's been.
Well, Brandon Fraser wasn't there, so that was their biggest issue.
You could tell me that's been a Godzilla story plot since the 60s. I'm like, that makes sense because it feels like it came from the 60s.
Yeah, it came from the 30s.
Yeah, it's just a very
Well, yeah, Journey to the Center of the Earth was written in the 1800s. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And I'm just going to the and that's not how the Earth works. They're
that we know about.
The Earth. Shut up. I mean, the Earth because it makes sense. There are these giant monsters, so obviously there's something different with the Earth in this Godzilla universe. But that different? There's there.
Yeah. Well, when they were first explaining it, I thought it meant there's essentially the nuclear core of the Earth or something different, magic core of the Earth that spits them out and gives birth to them.
I didn't think it was
cosmic.
I didn't think it was
literally just their homeland.
An entire world,
just a different habitat. Yeah, but I mean,
they're I cannot imagine living on that Earth where just constantly it's oh shit, there's another big old lizard thing.
Yeah, I mean, Journey to the Rock of the Johnson of the Earth 2.
I do enjoy Journey to the Mysterious Island.
I never saw that one.
The cast is just so Luis Guzman and Dwayne Johnson.
Did not know Luis Guzman was in it.
Yeah,
that's great.
He's Vanessa Hudgens' dad.
Didn't know Vanessa Hudgens. Okay.
It's Dwayne Johnson is Josh Hutcherson's stepdad. Luis Guzman is Vanessa Hudgens' dad. And then Josh Hutcherson, who was the kid in the first one that went to the center of the earth with Brendan Fraser, wants to go on this new journey, and Dwayne Johnson's trying to win him over as stepdad. And so they're going to go to the Mysterious Island from Jules Verne's books, and then they need a plane, and Luis Guzman flies this little plane, and Vanessa Hudgens comes for some reason on their little excursion, and then they crash on the Mysterious Island.
Because I assume
and Michael Caine,
that's her high school crush, even though they're both 30.
Yeah. Michael Caine is Josh Hutcherson's grandpa, and he's still in the
Michael Caine.
Yeah, it's
Josh.
Which makes no sense because he's British.
Josh Hutcherson. Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, definitely heavy recommend.
Not
heavy.
Yeah, thank you for that clarification.
It's a fun movie if it was on TNT and you're talking about it.
Yeah, wow, great reference. Yeah, I mean, good monkey fight, good lizard fight. I do think we can say that Godzilla was the winner of the titular fight.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm happy with that.
So what do you rate Kong Godzilla?
I would give it...
This is a 69 joke. I'm gonna...
honestly, as far as blockbuster movies to watch for fun go, I would give it 8 Kong dongs out of 10 lizards.
That's pretty high.
Yeah,
I'd probably
This is a movie that I would really enjoy going in the theaters just on like a random week and be like, let's see a movie.
Buying a big thing of popcorn.
Yeah, I try not to buy the big one because then I know I'm going to get refills. Like, eating just one big one's fine, but I know I won't. So I try to get the bag.
Fair.
Whatever
underneath the...
Yeah. I'm a fiend for the Slurpees at AMC. It's a bad day. There was a bad stretch back when MoviePass was a thing, when me and Brandon would just go to like 2 movies a week, and he, for some strange reason, made the financial decision to always get 2 of Slurpees if I would buy popcorn, and it was bad. Like, we were refilling like 4 or 5 times, just the Slurpees. Like, yeah. Certainly an unhealthy amount of sugar.
Yeah, I missed that. That's what I'm excited to get back to theaters for.
Dude, I'm excited for... Really, I just want to be unhealthy again. I've been eating chicken and rice for the past week. Just that. I had froyo a week ago, so I guess that's something bad. But yeah, I'm ready for Slurpees at the theater. I'm ready for popcorn. I'm ready for Applebee's Dollaritas. Golden Corral. Yeah, we're gonna fingers crossed here. Let's not make any promises, but there's potential for a live from Applebee's, live from the bees. Anywho, that's a little tease for the loyal listeners at home. Yeah. Oh, what was your rating?
Probably 7.
So 7 Kong Dongs out of lizard dicks.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good time with it.
Good. Yeah, I mean, this has been a podcast in the same way that was a movie.
Yeah. And now, like that movie, this podcast has ended. Yeah,
and there was no Millie Bobby Brown or Martha.
No.
In this podcast. Martha Manhunter discussion, yes. Also, how do you feel about the theory that Ma Kent has always been Marcia Manhunter? And that's why they couldn't have kids.
I hate it.
But it works.
And it really ruins everything about that movie.
It ruins everything, but good. Hashtag ruin the Snyderverse. But also, if he would have also been General Swan, the second Superman's in that army base, he'd be like, why do you have the same organs and smell as my mother? Like, just because he's like super hyper aware, you know? So he'd be like, maybe not the organs because I guess shape-shifting, but definitely like, your blood smells like my mom. Which also...
I never knew how my mom's blood smelled different, but now I'm feeling weird.
That's a thing. And Superman, he can smell blood and listen to, and know the difference between heartbeats.
But I know the heartbeat thing, but does he know the difference between everybody's blood scent? Or is that just I can tell that you're here?
I think he just says scent. I don't know if he ever referenced... But there is a thing where he's like, this person, kind of like Toph vision when she's blind or bending. It's kind of like that where he sees the one white silhouette in the distance of black. All that being said,
we'll be back next week. Who knows what we're going to talk about?
Great question. Definitely more Winter Soldier versus Falcon talk, even if it's just a quick blurb. Yeah. Do we have any movies coming out next week?
I think so.
You never know. It's quite possible. Anything could drop these days. I don't know if much. It's April. Happy April Fools last week, and April showers bring May flowers.
True. That's why I refuse to take a shower during April.
Good. When Captain Falcon throws his mighty punch, Falcon punch!